let's see who we have to talk about. Oh, hello, Sandalwood. Wilfred. Wilfred looks up as you approach and smiles. I never thought that I would say such things, my boy. But it is good to wear the raiments in the rites once more. The march of time does have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beast than the triumvirates which took me in almost a decade ago. Oz was a triumvirate of exactly 3. Well, 4 with Tizo, who proved to be an exception. Though historically the Nightwings never took on more exiles than needed. I've mentioned my predecessor, Brighthorn, and my former companions, Arisa and Orlek. Perhaps naively, I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there is more you wish to learn about them. Sure. Let's get some lore. This is gonna be a little longer video. Brighthorn. You inquire about Brighthorn, former exile Nightwings who conducted the rites. Okay. Who you understand was liberated prior to when Wilfred first joined the Nightwings. I never met Brighthorn in person, but I know him rather well by now. Though, for that matter, my boy, so do you. He studies your reaction for a moment. Then, Brighthorn was born wealthy, but not special. Otherwise, you should have no reason to have heard of him. He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why, and do not care for spreading rumors. I first heard... Breathe. Yawning happens because you don't breathe enough. I first heard of him through Arisa and Orlek, who found in me a suitable replacement following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Orlek gave the impression they did not see eye to eye, but he assured me I soon would hear from him myself. Indeed, as I become accustomed to the book, which you know well by now, I soon began to hear the voice. Wilfred looks at you, and to see if you yet take his meaning. You see, my boy, after Brighthorn's liberation, he assumed a new identity with the Commonwealth, and a new responsibility to the triumvirate which liberated him. That voice you hear from time to time, whensoever the stars align, it's his. He is no longer Brighthorn. He is now none other than the Archjustice Androblus the Ninth himself. Liberated exiles retain certain burdens to their old triumvirates. They have much to thank for them, not just their freedom, but their exiled status to the Commonwealth, in the Commonwealth. Where's the yawn man? Is the Sandman the yawn man? He's getting to me. Shoo. The theocratic rules of the Commonwealth. They do not wear masks and raiment simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. Their public pasts are nothing but fabrication. Like Brighthorn, they once were exiled too. Brighton. That voice. He has no love for either of us. By now. Yawns, you stay back. He has no love for either of us by now. He knows full well that what we attempt to do. Yet, he is bound by the traditions of the rites. He shall always stand on ceremony and complain, but I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. How ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exiles such as we. Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen in the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time. If that's a path you'd want to pursue, I should apologize. Now then, whom else should we talk about? Arisa. You asked about Arisa. You understand betrayed Orlac at the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the Shimmer Pool. I'm afraid to know... Yawns, stay down. Yawn man, leave me alone. I'm afraid you know the brunt of it, my boy. But I suppose you ought to know something of Arisa's past. At least you be quick to judge her solely by her actions. Mind you, I would never make excuses for the terrible choice she ultimately made. But her life, I understand, was very difficult. I'm trying to not yawn, but even then, I stopped talking anyways, instead of my yawning, which makes me like this. It's like it's in the back of my neck. I can feel it building up my throat, my back of my neck. I'm like, it's coming. There it comes. Arisa has been exiled for the foulness of acts. You should see it plainly branded on her face, such as the heinousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. She was an apprentice blacksmith in her youth, taking up the post left by her brother. He had fallen in battle on the blood border, despite wielding their father's own lance and armor. Her father never quite recovered after this, and had grown cruel and detached. It was Arisa who took the brunt of his fury. He expected the impossible of her. One day, it was all too much for her, and when next he lashed out at her, she struck back. She struck back again and again and again. When they came for her, her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast into the downside for the crime, where her hatred for the Commonwealth only grew. Arisa always was intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the high-wing Raymond's a great siege engine that would shatter the defenses of the Commonwealth and forever end our feud. I was just remembering Bastion was about two types of people. One, people that lived underground, and one people living inside a high and mighty city. Not everyone was bad, but people were on edge and going, we had bad blood between us in the past, we're keeping an eye on you. But they eventually became friendly in some time, some people. But some people from, I guess, kept history and remembering what things were like, and always were kind of on guard. And then, if you haven't seen Bastion, I'm eventually going to do that Let's Play. And the story mostly unfolds all on its own because it's a linear path game, but still a good game. What she ultimately did to Orlek, it was an act of pure and thoughtless desperation. I do not think that it was simply evil, nor do I think that it was personal. I often wondered, though, if, in her final moments in the Shimmer Pool, she understood what she had done, and the depths to which she had fallen. For years, I must admit I hated her. But now, my only hope is that she found a peace, untenable during her relatively short life in the Downside and the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hope the life of Arisa offers some perspective, yes, to those of us who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, there's something else. Let's do Orlek and then we'll move on to the right. I said this is going to be a long episode. I feel like this, and I'm bad at guessing the times. It's probably a half hour right now. You ask about Orlek, who was like when he and Volfred first became acquainted. Volfred remained silent for some time. I was very, very sick, you know, when I first landed in the Downside. The long trip down the river must have been a little much for me. It was Orlek who found me. He could not have known of my capacity to read before he revived me. He was a physician, intolerant of the sights of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you. A gifted, highly decorated one. Decorated? My Christmas tree? And like, not a suit and tie, but you know the doctor's lab coat and stethoscope and stuff. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Orlek, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he said he grew repulsed by what he saw. This sowed in his heart a yearning for an end to all the bloodshed. So, he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the High Wing Ravens. Honorable, very good. It must have gone about how you'd expect. He was given direct orders to return to the front, but when he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him to the Downside. So, because he didn't do what they wanted, when he had a good motive and a good heart, and he just wanted to talk it out and stop the bloodshed completely, they cast him down to the Downside for that. That proves that the Commonwealth is not a good place. I mean, we already heard a lot from stories and stuff, and what I read and stuff, that the Commonwealth is tainted. Here, he gained a notice to the Nightwings. Before long, he grew to be one of the finest rites conductors anyone had ever seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose roles in the triumvirate were later filled by Arisa and me. In time, Orlek's own opportunity of freedom had come up. He longed for it, so that with his exile status, he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know how the story is from that point. Silver breathes a heavy sigh. I know how it feels. This darn yawn won't go away! But yeah. He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I could not bear to think that he was gone. And now, I still cannot entirely believe that he is back. He is our adversary now. Transformed. Grown cold. Still, part of me is happy that he lives. Make no mistake, of course. I shall not be swayed against our plan. Not by Orlek, or anyone. As I have said before, we share a higher calling now. As for Orlek, he wants his freedom still. Although, I wonder if he still remembers why. Anyway, was there something else, my boy? Thank you, Wilfred, for enlightening me about your past, and about Orlek, and about and Brighthorn, the guy that's been being a bully and talking down to us. He bid Wilfred a good afternoon, and leave him to his memories. My pleasure, reader. Reflecting on the past, from time to time, helps demonstrate how far we've come, and how much further we have yet to go. I wonder if it's because I'm trying to have my deep voice that it's causing me to yawn. Still can anyways. Alright. So it's saved. But we're gonna shop. And we're gonna go. Hey guys. So, like, I don't know what's going on out there with all them stars and acting real weird and stuff. But let me tell you something here. You ain't gotta find a better deal and all this stuff from anybody. And I mean anybody in the downside. Are you the only merchant? Did you take them all out? Did your dad take them all out? Did you? Hey Dad? We gotta get that guy's stuff because we gotta be the best salesman and the only salesman in the world. Get him, Dad. You see his eyes for the first time and the last time. And Dad just starts charging. Even the downside. You can trust me. You can trust me when I tell you that, okay? So go ahead and stock up. Big pile. Well, big-ish pile of dust. You know, it's enough actually to fulfill that thing. What's this? Permanently grants one hope. Okay, I'm gonna put this on someone that I don't feel like I'm gonna be liberation riding anytime soon. So we're running decently low on money, but we still have enough to purchase some things. This is still a good thing. 50% of the damage dealt comes to us in health-wise, so I feel like this is a good buy. Squishy. Okay. Yeah. Pleasure doing business with you guys, so, bye. Alright, so, even though we're gonna check out the items in there anyways, let's take a looky-see. Has no levels. This thing has, points to it. I'm just gonna put it on it just without trying to second guess myself and think, maybe I should put on this or this. No, this. Let me think about that. Now, whoever's bearing this has a high chance, the highest chance it can give, of returning immediately, which is great. And while he's on play, Headwind and his allies generate stamina twice as fast, so it's good. His allies may instantly return banished allies when they're on the field. So if he returns quickly, then anyone else falls, he can go touch, tag, touch, boom. Headwind gains 50% more stamina, letting him jump and sprint more often. And you had the ability of doing this loop thing right there to jump towards the orb immediately. I should try that. Should I try letting her go? Maybe. If not him, I want to try to let her go. We're going to be losing lots and lots of people. She's a sweetheart. And she's with the scribes, so she should be able to talk with people. Then though she's a sweetheart, I feel like she might have trouble talking with certain people in the Commonwealth. Maybe. We'll see. Nothing down from her. She is definitely a sweetheart. It's probably around 40 minutes now, and we still have this right to go through. Once more, you have gained the fall of Solom, where one among you may go free. But first, you shall have to prevail against the Fate. The Fate are here? Oh no! This is gonna be a test to me! Wait! Okay, should we go for our plan and have us win? Or should we let him go? Because I so totally want to let him go. Because unlike that bruiser of a demon guy that I was, in the last episode, I was feeling for a bit. I feel bad for him, but he doesn't, I'm not sure how, if he's feels grateful for others when they, I don't know, maybe. But I still want to let the Fate go. Reader, your companions are gathered here, under the fall. They shall be counting on you. Indeed, as the cycle of the rites turns even faster, so too is our plan to set in motion. My agents in the Commonwealth are beginning to cause a bit of a stir out there, and word has reached high places that the rites are ending. They don't want any more people to get out of the down. We're putting you down there for a reason, because we don't want you there for our reasons. This is our chance, though. Let us not despair. Shall victory elude us here, we shall make the most of whatever the scribes may have in store for us. That is to say, good luck, my boy. It's time. We got a fire hammer down there. What's that fire hammer say? Even though I'm not going to click it. Your adversary's pyre shall recover up to 5 health each time they douse your pyre. That, I don't mind chewing, because that's not that bad.
Dullness the locket.
Because if they only hit us, they only gain 5 health, which is not that bad. 3% enlightenment. You know, it's a little bit. Only take a look to see the end. At the start of the right, your pyre shall be automatically suffer 30 damage. So,
Endriga the Widow.
We have to be, like, I feel like we can do this. But the thing is, we're also trying to fail. Am I? Your adversaries each shall have 50% stamina for use with their abilities.
Time Singer Horn.
That sounds not too bad. Your adversaries each shall have plus 8 hope, making them return sooner. Your adversaries shall never be banished after plummeting into your pyre. That is a pretty decent challenge. At the start of the right, your adversary's pyre shall have 30 more. Your adversaries each shall deal an additional 5 to your pyre. Which will hurt us pretty bad. But I feel like we're pretty strong.
Biolanthius.
Your adversaries each shall have 8 presence. No! Your adversaries shall be more cunning and more quicker to react. Your adversaries shall have 8 quickness. Your adversaries shall all return from banishment when all are banished. Which I don't think is going to happen too often. Shaq's 6 shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. You're better. You have more, another pair of arms than 2 more shoulders than Machiap. Well, let's see. Let's see how this goes. Thing is, I don't want to. This is them, the Fate people. I don't want them to He's a sweet guy! The wondrous miracle. It lies upon the highest mountain of the something.